Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Mojo here. Please like, comment, subscribe. I decided to go and spend my Friday night watching A Fall from Grace. And I'm glad I did because I was actually entertained. I was entertained because I went in with low expectations and not because of Tyler Perry's inability to create quality content. I don't believe that. What I will say is that a lot of the stuff that he does create is, like he said, for a certain audience. I do watch a lot of the shows that he has on TV right now, and I take it exactly for what it is and don't expect anything else from it, which is why I'm fine, even though other people aren't. So I went in with that general expectation for this movie, especially because the trailer just looked a joke. I mean, visually it looked great, but the trailer, I said, oh no, what are we doing with this? I went in, I watched. And yes, parts of it, I was doing other things to make it move faster because I hate, the setup for movies sometimes where they have to go through a bunch of stuff just to get to the main crux. I loved, I liked Grace, which is Crystal Fox. She did a good job playing Haggard, even though on Haves and Have-Nots, she also plays a stressed out, sometimes borderline looking haggard woman. But Crystal Fox does not look like that at all in real life or give that energy in real life. So good acting there. Felicia Rashad, we already know it is what it is in a positive way. Miss Rashad. Or maybe it's Mrs. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. But she did what she had to do. She got on my nerves. It's funny. Her character gets on my nerves in a lot of the stuff that she plays, which means I know she's doing a great job because she's always kind of like a semi-smug look, which I love. I love that in real life. But on these shows around other people, I'm like, oh, Sarah. I knew we couldn't trust Sarah. Oh yeah. Spoiler alert. If you didn't watch the movie, please watch it. Because I'm just going to go and say what happened. Basically, we have Grace, who is being accused of actually killing her not ex, but her husband, who in turn actually stole from her. But it was actually with the help with his mom, Sarah. Sarah, who was supposed to be Grace's best friend, was actually, and I don't know how, that's how you know this con was going on for a long time. How Sarah made sure to keep her son away so that Grace never found out that Shannon was actually Sarah's son. I said, The whole premise of the movie is that Grace's identity was stolen. She worked at a bank. Her identity was stolen and money was transferred from her using her credentials from the bank's, one of their accounts. And so she got fired. She was getting in trouble with that. Then someone went and took out a mortgage on her home that was already paid off. And it was her new husband who flipped the script and started to, be disrespectful, sleeping with other women, telling Grace not to question him in her own home, even though because they were married, then it became the both of them. Oh, I was so mad because I saw the setup. Sharon was supposed to be this photographer and he had this eye and his eye was on Grace. Grace was, like I said, a woman who was in a bad relationship. She got out of that relationship. Her ex-husband cheated and made a fool of her. Her ex-husband had money. So she left all of that and started over and she was able to get a house. She paid off the house. She did exactly what she needed to do. She was a good woman. Good woman. And here comes this younger man, this younger artiste who keeps asking her 1,000,001 questions, knowing certain things that he shouldn't know. And it gets to this point where they get married because he asked her and she says yes, even though it was quick. And then it all comes tumbling down. Once they get married, he gets access to certain things. We find out that he was actually taking pictures of her so much so that he took pictures of all of her documentation so that he was able to go and log in to her accounts and clean it out. I said, oh, this is a Lifetime movie, but on Netflix with a bigger budget. And I jumped ahead, but Grace was in jail at one point for most of the movie. So we have Jasmine. Jasmine got on my nerves. So Brescia did a good job. She usually plays more so a comedic type of role. So she did a good job because she got on my nerves this entire time. Tyler Perry was in the film, like he is in a lot of his films, as Rory. He did a good job because he got on my nerves. He was not the good guy in this. And I appreciate that. He was not the good guy in this. Even though he had a message, the way how he delivered the message made me want to punch him in the face. It sure did. Because we have the lawyer who's actually going to end up representing Grace, even though she was a terrible lawyer. She was actually trash and wanted to go and have Grace just do a plea deal. And then she eventually came to her senses after meeting Sarah, which that was an actual setup, and meeting Grace's son. I'm just like, Jasmine was such a bad lawyer. Terrible. At one point when they were in court, after she already rested her case, you can't unrest the case. So she was trying to tell the judge, hey, I want Sarah to go back on the stand. Judge was like, what do you do? Is this freshman year? And you graduated? Are you sure? Dummy. Cicely Tyson was in this. Cicely Tyson in real life looks fantastic. She's in her mid-90s, I believe, and looks fantastic. But in this movie, like in a lot of other movies, they have her playing an old, haggard, confused woman. I thought, wait a minute, what's going on here? And the moment I saw her, I said, oh, there's some mess going on in this house, because she was staying with Sarah. We eventually found out at the end of the movie that Cicely Tyson was one of the women that was, I guess you can say, kidnapped. And the whole premise was Sarah and her son, Shannon, would go and goop these women. And a lot of times Sarah would have Shannon use Shannon to make these women fall in love with him so that either he can get married or he can get close enough to them so that they can go and take their money and their life insurance and say they're dead and do all this other stuff, like schemes that you hear about in the news. So Tyler basically was inspired by, some stories that probably have been out there. And he made a movie about wrongfully accused, which is a hot topic, but also combined elderly abuse, neglect, women being in danger. And he tied in a lot of stuff, as well as important, now I'm sounding like Medea, important things like, if you want to help someone, you have to do it the right way. And Jasmine, like I said, she was not a good lawyer. They lost the case. It most likely was they weren't going to win anyway, but she did not help. And I should have known, which I did, that Sarah could not be trusted. When she went on that stand, some people that got on my nerves, Donnie, if you watch If Loving You Is Wrong, he is Randall's friend on there, the actor. Jordan, the guy who played Jordan, he was actually married to Jasmine. He was a police officer and nice guy, good head on his shoulders, but also kind of dim-witted too in a certain way. Even though he kind of told her about herself, which I loved. He told her about herself because she's a runner. She's one of those people that will run from obstacles, from trouble, from things that just piss her off. And he said, no. What you're not going to do is run away from this, because now he was lying. This is what you're calling. This is what you're good at. I said, ooh. Okay, we're supposed to be supportive. Okay, lie to her. But some things that were just terrible about the movie, as we know, Tyler, he does this on purpose at this point. The wigs. They had, and it was to create emphasis But even when Grace wasn't in jail, her wig wasn't that much better. Oh, God. Oh, and forget the wig that they put on Shannon, the high top with the I said, oh my gosh, if you watch the Have and the Have-Nots, you'll notice, remember last season, Jeffrey had that terrible wig on. And I don't know if maybe they were prepping it to see what if Jeffrey was possibly supposed to play the role of Shannon? That's the only reason why I could see him wearing that wig, unless they were trying to test it out on a similar shaped head. I don't know, but it was a good movie. And like I said, I'm not saying that, the twists and the turns. No, I figured it out quickly because I watch a lot of movies, and I didn't go to school for that, but I did a lot of classes, like film classes and even like writing classes. So I get it. I saw where we were going, and I was happy. I was happy that it wasn't just some generic. I was very happy about that, as far as what sometimes we can get from Tyler with these general themes. So I'm going to do separate videos saying things that I loved about the movie and things that I absolutely about the movie. And it's not in a way saying that the movie was bad because of it. It's more so just things that kind of irked me or things I loved. So please like, comment, subscribe, check out those videos. It's going to be funny.